Hi everyone, my name is Kyle Bossman. I'm a press conference connoisseur, and what I'm here to do today is give a simple list of do's and don'ts for Sony to have the best possible press conference. Let's get started. Do show some games. Any unreleased video game hardware is only as desirable as its coolest looking game. We need games to get attached to the idea of your new system. So show us some games, show us the games we're expecting, show us some games we're not expecting, make sure all those games are running on your actual hardware. The second most important thing is show us the hardware. I know it shouldn't matter, but it really does. We do care about those things. I mean, it's gonna be next to our TV for 7 years. So show us what that looks like. Spend some time on it. Give us maybe like 5 minutes of just different ways to hold it, and show us a controller. I know the controller's probably gonna look the same too, but we're curious about it. Sony, just show us everything you possibly can. Don't start the event talking about anything other than the PlayStation 4. Here's what I can promise you. If you start your event talking about the 10-year life cycle of the PlayStation 3, or what a bountiful year it's been for the PlayStation brand, or if you want to show us a sales chart, or if you want to put up a quote from a dumb book that you like a lot, I can promise you that no one is going to listen to any of that. We're watching to see the PlayStation 4, and if you start this event talking about anything else, I guarantee you it's wasted time. Just start the event with the PlayStation 4 and get into it. Do start on time. This one should be obvious, but Sony is notorious for starting the press conferences late, and yeah, a lot of that we can blame on LA traffic or Kobe Bryant, but let me stress why this is important. Sony, you did a really interesting thing in announcing the day and time of your press conferences far in advance. What you've done for us is given us a whole month to get excited, and it's what we've been doing is we've just been heaping our hype onto itself. And you know, we've been making GIFs and we've been doing little doodles in our notebooks, and up to this point, up until this 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, we're gonna be at our maximum capacity for hype. So that's a good thing. But for each minute that passes after 6 p.m., that's diminished hype. That's time that we have for ourselves to think, and maybe we're gonna get worried that this isn't gonna be that cool, and maybe we're gonna open a new tab, and maybe we're gonna go to the bathroom. So here's the thing, is you need to attack us right here. This is when we're most vulnerable, and this is why this is important. Don't show off anything that has to do with motion controls. Here's a widely ignored fact. In the history of press conferences, there has never been a motion control demonstration that has gone well or has looked cool. There's this thick feeling I get when I'm watching a press conference where they're showing off motion controls. It's the sense that everyone on stage is secretly very terrified that it's not gonna work out. And you can see it in their movements and the way they speak. They're like, pass me the ball, Michael. I don't believe it. You guys don't like doing it. We don't like watching it. And that's the thing. Most of the people who are going to buy your console at its launch date, your early adopters, we predominantly like playing games with those controllers. We like analog sticks and we like all the dumb buttons. For this press event, for you to generate the most excitement and probably profits, just keep the motion controls out of it. I know you like them, I know they're very profitable for you, but they don't excite us, the excitables. So please leave it out. Do save your biggest surprise for last. This is something that Nintendo got very wrong last year at their E3 press conference. This was when they were showing off Wii U games for the first time. Real Wii U games. This was Nintendo in HD. This was gonna be a big deal. And they started off their press conference, they showed Pikmin 3, and it was really cool. And then there was the rest of the press conference, and it wasn't very exciting, but in the back of our minds, we're thinking, okay, they're gonna show retro. They're gonna show what Retro's been working on. They're gonna show some weird Star Fox thing. They're gonna show the Pokemon MMO. It's okay, that's all coming. And so Reggie is there on stage alone at the end of the show, and he says, now, we're gonna leave you with one last thing. And we're like, what is it? What could this possibly be? Reggie, what? What are you doing? What are you about to show us? And he says, here's what fireworks look like in Nintendo Land. Sony, don't do that. And I know you're not gonna show fireworks in Nintendo Land, but let me just clarify how important this is. We're all monsters. We like you, we like video games. But we as people are just monsters, and we're consuming your press conference and we like it, but we're always thinking the whole time about what's next. That's in the back of our minds. You're handing us a piece of cake and it's delicious and we're eating it, but then we're still thinking about that piece of cake over there. And you're like, fine, I'll give you this piece of cake. And you give us that one and we're like, what about that piece of cake? Here's the only way to satiate us. You have to end the press conference with something that no one could have predicted. And I realize that sounds impossible, but I'll throw you a bone. I'll give you one. End your press conference like this. It's been widely rumored that the Phantom Pain is in fact Metal Gear Solid 5. This is simply not the case. The Phantom Pain is the last Guardian. And it's a launch title. No! No! Too much! So something like that. Don't be weird. And Sony, I know you guys like being weird. I know you like that. You like your weird commercials and your weird games, and that's okay. Some of those things are really cool, but keep them out of the press conference. There's no time for that. Here's my advice. If you find yourself saying, and now we're going to show a video that will capture the types of experiences that you're going to discover on the place, stop right there, because we know you're about to do something weird. If you're saying the words discover or experience, we know something weird is coming, so don't do it. Don't be weird. Just show us some games, we like those. And that actually concludes my list of do's and don'ts. I hope they were helpful, I hope they're simple. Sony, if you do those things and you don't do those other things, I know you're gonna have a great press conference. And one other thing is, I think a lot of us are secretly concerned that you're not gonna show the PlayStation 4 on February 20th. And that's a real thing. Just show it. What are you guys doing? Just show the console. What else are you gonna do? Are you gonna talk about Vita? Because don't. Just show the PlayStation 4, please. Don't do that to us. We're excited. I don't think I could take it.
Is the next generation of gaming about to be revealed? On Wednesday, February 20th, be the first to know. Jeff Keighley and GT are live in New York City for the 2013 PlayStation meeting. Complete wall-to-wall coverage, all the breaking news as it happens live. GT, your source for the PlayStation meeting. Live coverage begins Wednesday, February 20th at 5 p.m. Eastern, 2 p.m. Pacific, worldwide on GT.
Thanks. Oh, what about that piece of cake? You're like, okay, okay, here you go. Here's this piece of cake. That piece of, I need this one. Okay, all right, here you go. That one. Okay, all right. This one. Okay, that one. Okay.